Hi, this is Aya Sturdivant, aka the Metaphysician, here with a perfect dream. Today is Saturn Saturday. And for those of you who don't know what that is, please visit my Facebook page, look at the videos, and you will know that Saturn Saturday is all the lessons that I've learned in, some lessons that I've learned in my spiritual journey and consciousness, and I will share them with you, and you can reflect on it. So each week we have a consciousness week here at A Perfect Dream, and we have a theme for the week in reaching your goals, dreams, and aspirations. And this week's theme is becoming a friend to your goals, dreams, and aspirations. So I have a Saturn Saturday for you, and actually, the weirdest lesson that I have learned with my spiritual journey is I learned, and I don't know how to say this per se, but I had to. I was given a sign at one particular point in time where, and I am, just to let you know, I am definitely afraid of insects. And at one point in time, I was in a pretty decent neighborhood, a pretty decent apartment, and I kept seeing all these spiders, and it just seemed like right when I would come out anyway, they would just, be out. I'm like, oh my God, because I'm such a chicken when it comes to such a chicken when it comes to spiders. And I was always scared to kill them, and I didn't want to do anything, and something kind of tapped me on the shoulder about that, and it was more like, pay attention to that. I would go to get the shoe and want to kill it, and something just kept tugging at me. Pay attention to that. There's a reason why spiders are coming around, and so because I kept seeing them, I ended up doing some research on that, and this is what was revealed to me. Through all that is, through pure consciousness, the spider represents creativity. Also, it represents a perspective in life, because as you guys know, spiders have 8 eyes and 8 legs. And normally how we develop perspective as humans is through the 5 senses, and through also the 6th sense. And the spider has 8 legs with hair on them that he may feel, and the eyes give different dimensions. So this is where you'll see spiders like be in one place, and then suddenly you don't know where they are. And this is also how you can see them jump and kind of anticipate your moves with the shoe. It is because with the 8 dimension, the eyes being 8 eyes, 8 dimensions, that spider is able to see from many perspectives. And if you've ever seen a spider web, if you've ever seen a pretty decent spider web, it is so intricately composed. And normally, the spider is composing a web, not just for the purpose of catching food, but from the perspective of abundance, meaning that the spider has already foreseen that a meal was coming and it needs to be ready. And so it creates the web in a certain direction, in a certain way towards the wind, in a certain spot, with the perspective of abundance coming and the perspective of my meal is coming, I'm going to get ready. So from that perspective, the spider has understood that all that is going to provide, and the only thing I need to do is create the web and lay back and wait. How many times have we worried so much, but yet we have failed to create our web and sit back and wait for the results patiently from that perspective, knowing that you're going to get your needs met, you're going to get whatever you need. It hasn't failed the spider yet. If spiders couldn't get what they wanted from building a web, they would stop doing it. They will stop being spiders. Like, okay, you know what? It's time I become a ladybug because, you know, the spider thing isn't working for me. And, you know, I keep building these webs and ain't nothing coming in them. You know, and I'm just tired of this. And, you know, I just need to change. You know, something needs to happen. You know, but that doesn't happen. A spider still continues to be a spider because it knows very well that all that is going to provide and that it is going to be taken care of from that perspective of how it built that web. And when that web no longer works for the spider, it travels and moves on and goes somewhere else to create another. So we always want to keep that in perspective, and that spiders can conserve a lot of energy at one point in time. And they talk about spiders, you know, not moving unless they have to, from the research that I've done. So let's think about all the actions we're out here doing, how we're using our energy in motion, how we're running around doing this and doing that, and doing this and doing that, and doing this and this. And we don't even have to. We're doing all that stuff because that's what somebody else told us we had to do. You know, we're doing all this because that's what, you know, we think we need to do in order to achieve this. But from the perspective of your goal being met, you need to spin your web and then wait for the results. So it would help to be more like the spider. It would help to be more like the spider, to take that perspective of the spider, to understand that, you know, all that is going to provide. And whatever it is that I say that I want, if I get into the spirit of being that person that has their need met, then I'm going to succeed. So most of us, we say it. You know, we go to church and we say it. Oh, God's going to give my need. We say it. Oh, yeah, and you know, God going to provide it. We say it, but we don't really believe that. See, so there's a lack of trust in all that is. There's a lack of faith in that. And the reason being is because if you understood, you know, see, you want to talk about, you know, the Bible, which I try not to mention too much religion, but I'm going to. You know, if you talk about, you know, faith and the faith of a mustard seed, well, the faith of a mustard seed would be to walk around like that thing already has happened to you. You ain't got to tell nobody, because most people in society, if you do that, they're going to think you're crazy. Or she talking like she already got the car. She talking to the bus stop. So, of course, from that perspective, yeah, you may look a little odd. But, if you can hold that vibration to yourself, just in the parts that you can. So okay, so I want this. You know, I want this. You know, new car, new house. You know, or whatever. You know, whatever material thing. Or I want you know, healing. You know, for my body. Well, you got to think to yourself, what would you be doing if you were healed? What would you be doing if you had the house? So let's say, okay, I'm the kind of person that has this brand new house that is, you know, 4 or 5 bedrooms, blah, 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 blah. What would I be doing? So even if I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment, how would I be acting? So how would a woman that has this house answer the phone? How would a woman that, you know, has this car, how would she drive it? You know, so currently, if you do have something, how are you treating it? See, you cannot be what you are not. So if you have to go from that small perspective of acting as if, like the spider does, and from that perspective, wait, then so be it. But what normally happens, if you ever notice how a spider will catch something in the web and immediately move, that is what an opportunity is. So what ends up happening is that, okay, you can act as if. And then the minute you get an opportunity, what will happen is that the universe, the universe will open up from your perspective now, an opportunity that you didn't see before. It may come to you in a still voice. It may come to you through a friend. It may come to you through watching TV or getting an email. And all of a sudden, you can act on that. And that is really a lesson that we can learn, that I learned from all that is in something so small and trivial like that. Also, cats have 8-dimensional eyes too. So, but that'll be the next There'll be some other time that I'll mention that. But cats also have that way of being that way about themselves too, laying around all day for 14 to 16 hours, knowing they're gonna be fed and taken care of. So, again, that was my Saturn Saturday. This is what I have learned. That was really, odd, but definitely a lesson from consciousness, from the conscious perspective. So, please visit me on www.aperfectdream.org, my Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram page. So, you are the change that you seek. From the perspective of being a friend to your future self, I hope I gave you a grand perspective with this particular Saturn Saturday. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to A Perfect Dream. Until then, namaste.